Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Robin, this is Digital Wilds, and welcome back to Resident Evil 4. We're having rescued Ashley from the clutches of the monks. We have beaten back some armoured knights, and we're ready to head on further into the castle. So first, just have a quick sweep around here, make sure we haven't forgotten any collectibles. We can also pop back here and have a word with the merchant. So here's a fairly well hidden thing. If you head all the way back through the castle, past the maze, past the room with the cage, and head back round to this walkway here, you'll remember that we previously saw an opening to some treasure which needed 2 people to get through. Well, we finally have 2 people, and this is not something that they bring up all that often, and shield don't unlock the door. So we break in here and we get a lovely collection of chests, which include a free broken butterfly, the magnum, which we can use to inflict some heavy damage on bosses if we so wish. This might be a bit of a tricky one to fit in the case, so I'll be back with you in a moment once I've done some tidying. Okay, so we've taken that. We also get the elegant perfume bottle, which we can sell for a decent amount of money. And through here we get a red herb, and in the last one we get a big pile of gold bars for an extra 5,000 pesetas. So, although it's a bit of a hassle coming back here, and you often wouldn't think to do so, if you leave via that door by Luis's body, you can get back here with Ashley, and it is worth doing so in terms of treasure. Now, I've got to fight my way through those monks who I ignored on the first time through. I think we could at this point go down into the maze with Ashley, but there's absolutely no reason to do so, and I think there might still be some dogs around, so it's not something I'm willing to risk. Fortunately, it looks like the guy with the claws hasn't respawned, so we can break through here without having to fight too many of them, and they won't chase us through that door. So we can sell that elegant perfume bottle for 10,000 pesetas. This is treasure I don't normally get, because I usually forget about that room. We've also got the broken butterfly, which we can sell for 19,000 if we so wish. I'm going to keep it and maybe tune it up a bit, because it's interesting to show off the magnums, even if they're not all that useful all the time. I'm going to save the capacity upgrade for now, because that's a useful way to reload it, but the firepower going up might be worthwhile. So back here with Luis's corpse, among other things, and if we head down this corridor, we'll get on with the level. So here we emerge into where the game starts taking a really weird turn, because this is not just a castle. This is a castle with giant purple torches and flaming lava pits. This is not exactly how most medieval Spanish castles are constituted, I'll be honest. So we've got a couple of options. We can head down in that cart towards one objective, or we can go across the lava into another. So Leon takes the sensible decision to leave Ashley behind, and we'll head on solo into what is going to be quite a challenging room. So through here we've got these towers, which obviously will be spewing fire at us because this is a very Resident Evil-y level. We've got to get over to that chest on the other side of the room. Now, our best bet is to take out these towers quickly, because they will swiftly become an encumbrance if we don't. Now, we have a little bit of a reprieve right at the start of this room. There are going to be guys who come out onto the platforms, and we need to take them out as quickly as humanly possible. So, get the rifle out, zoom in, and down he goes. That's one out of operation. The other one is coming up, and oh, bloody hell. I did not need that right now. Cutscene aside, we can take out the other one. There we go. And then it falls. And we are now free to access the second of those treasures. Go over to my pistol, because we're up for some slightly more up-close and personal fighting soon. However, we are now free of the sea of flames, which are going to be spattered as if we were not careful. So we get some treasure out of that. 5,000 pesetas for taking down one tower. I assume the same reward of taking out the other. Some monks on the ground over here who will also need to be dealt with. So, typical strategy. Shoot them in the knees. Punish them while they're down. No headbusters here, plus we get some free ammo. And we've got ourselves another chest over here. Oh, not containing gold, but containing another Illuminados pendant, which I believe is more valuable than gold, so I'm not about to complain about that. So the biggest challenge now is this guy who appears in front of us, and we know he's going to be spewing fire at us. If I could do a trick shot with a incendiary grenade, I might be getting away with it here. Doesn't look like I've managed it. Just going to back off here, get some of these rewards, and plan our next approach. I am broadly aware that those supports holding up the tower can be taken out with sufficient fire, but I only know it from the New Game Plus mode, so I'm not sure whether it has to be one of the awesome super weapons you get in that mode, or whether we can just do it with sufficient normal damage. I'm going to give it my very best shot. I might use might be a good opportunity for the broken butterfly, actually. Yes, and that will do it. So, yes, if you use a heavy weapon, you can destroy those chains, and it saves you having to take out the operator. That way you can get rid of the tower without having to get in harm's way. Lovely. So unfortunately we're now down to 5 magnum bullets, so I'm going to switch away fairly swiftly, because it's not worth wasting on normal enemies, but these guys do need to be taken out, so that's still a concern. And with them out of the picture, before some more jump down, I'm going to head over here and we'll open up this chest to see what's inside. Although I think we can probably work it out by now. There we go, the lion ornament. So if we can avoid more enemies spawning, we can rush back to Ashley, make sure she's still okay and not being kidnapped again. Seems quite irresponsible to leave her on her own, I guess, but she seems safe enough in that room, so hopefully she'll still be there when we arrive. And there she is, lovely. So we'll ride over on this weird little tracked platform thing, which seems mechanically difficult and unpowered, so I'm not quite sure how it works. Maybe it has a battery in it. Anyway, we've reached a natural save point, so we're going to drop a save here, and we'll take Ashley on that little cart and see where else we can go in this level. So we arrive in a very similar room on that rather lovely roller coaster ride of a trolley. Smash open these vases over here to see what we can pick up. Shotgun shells and a spinal, the Resident Evil 4 reward since the start of the game, basically. And we'll unlock this door from the inside, and it takes us back to this chamber, which you may remember from way back at the start of level 3. And you'll see that we've got this slots for the ornaments, but unlike the first time we encountered it, we have all 3 of the ornaments. So we can now use them all. Now you can't combine them for some reason, you have to place them one at a time, which seems counterintuitive to me, but whatever. No second guessing the developer's intentions. Because you're only ever going to be here once you've got all 3 pieces, so it makes no sense for you to have to place them all in individually. You should just be able to press a button and they all activate, but Resident Evil 4 is not a game full of intensely logical design decisions, so we push through and we find ourselves in this very well lit chamber with some Illuminados flags on the walls, which is an asset we haven't seen before. It's rather nice. If my memory is correct, through this door, Ashley is not going to be having a very fun time, so I'm just going to quickly reload our weapons and try and keep her safe for the duration. I'm wrong, so this is the nicest vista we've had in a while. We've got this static illustration of bits of the castle that seem to be lying around here. It's a very, very huge castle if it has a forest inside it, but no reckoning with the map designers for this game. So we'll hop in here, have a lovely view of the skybox as we zoom along, and emerge facing a portrait of this sad gentleman here. You might think he's related to the game in some way given the prominence it gives him, but he's not. Velvet Blues are very related to this game because they give me treasure that I can use to buy upgrades. So yes, this is not the only portrait we'll find in this area. We emerge into this kind of big portrait gallery, and we've got a few different routes to go. So if we head down here, get ourselves a yellow herb, which is nice, and there's also a letter lying on this desk. Sample retrieved, with a lovely dartboard with Luis's photo on it. As you may have heard, Luis Serra has been disposed of by Lord Sadler. The sample is back where it belongs. I had hoped that the whole matter could be resolved without troubling the Lord. However, as long as the sample is safe, we can all rejoice, for our time is nearly at hand. Now that the sample is back in our safe hands, it'll be a bit more difficult for that troublesome woman to get it. That's referring to Ada, I assume. In light of all this, it's unfortunate that Serra had to go. Like us, he would have had a bright future if only he had shown more faith in our beliefs. As for the other 2 Americans, the Lord has left the matter in our hands. We must not disappoint the Lord. We shall capture Ashley and take her to the Lord and dispose of the American agent. Now, I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Salazar or Salazar's goon, but you have had multiple opportunities to kill me, and you haven't. You've left it in sort of dramatic fashion for me to fight my way through puzzle rooms, so you'll forgive me if I don't take seriously your threats to dispose of me quite yet. So, in here, we've got these knights. These, fortunately, are not the kind of knights that are all rusty and start swinging swords at me. But what you'll discover is we've got these platforms on the floor. So, 2 static platforms, 2 individuals as protagonists. This is not a particularly difficult puzzle, even by Resident Evil 4 standards. That's 1 down. The other statue in place. We'll stop Ashley on that one, so that's 3. And then I go and stand on here for 4. So that opens up this room. I'm going to quickly switch over to the pistol, because this is very useful for what we're about to encounter.
I think you've lived long enough. Let's see if you can survive this time.
Uh-oh, the door slammed. Ah, yes, and we've got the mechanical spiky roofed room. As Salazar runs away, and this is easy enough to solve. Shoot these mysterious weak points in the roof. And once all 4 of them are shot, it will stop. It's not a particularly difficult challenge. The roof doesn't even move particularly quickly, and it's very, very obvious what the weak points are. Now, you know, I would have liked it more from a survival horror perspective if you just weren't able to defeat the pointy ceiling room, because even if you weren't, you'd just run out of this door. So over to the shotgun. Guess there's combat coming up. You'll see we've got this long corridor coated in blood, which doesn't bode well. And yep, who'd have thought Ashley is trapped. And through the wall comes this giant drill machine, which must have been a hell of a commission from the builders. So, over to the rifle. All we got to do, driver 1 goes down, driver 2 goes down. Unfortunately, that does not stop the drill, but it does open the door for some absolutely baffling reason. Clearly, they were load-bearing villains, and they've activated some kind of plot lever somewhere. But whatever. With them dead, we just wait for the drill to hit the wall, as it does over here. You can now walk into the spikes and they won't do you any harm. So it was rather an anticlimax, that trap. But we bust out of here. We get loads and loads of collectibles, including the elegant chessboard, where we can, which we can sell for money down the line. Plus, in these barrels, we've got velvet blues, we've got ammunition, we've got this chest, which contains the Queen's Grail, which looks like a treasure, but is actually a puzzle item. We'll come to that in a moment. And we've got this locked door here. Once I'm over to a more normal close-range weapon. I could shoot it off, but more economical to just knife it, which doesn't seem like a very tough lock to me. I've got locks around my house. If I just sort of slashed at them with a knife, I don't think I'd get through them. Anyway, back out here now. We've got the Queen's Grail, and around this second corridor with a flash grenade in it, which is nice. And I believe if I turn this corner, no, normally there's enemies along here. Apparently not, but what we do have, shiny points on these statues, which implies treasure for the getting. So shoot that down. Spinal, and the green gem, which I think goes in one of the treasures we've got so far. I believe it's the mask. The lamp is for the eyes. So yeah, green gem for the elegant mask. We seem to only be able to find the green gems, never the blue or the yellow. I don't know why. Then on this one we've got a velvet blue, a fairly standard one. And over here we've got the spinal. So you'll see here we've got these two statues of a king and a queen. The queen is pink because girls are pink, obviously, even though historically that wasn't the case. Pink was considered a historically masculine colour up until the start of the 20th century, and blue was considered a feminine colour. So actually, if they were trying to go for sexist stereotypes, they failed in a couple of respects. So the Queen's Grail, place that in the Queen's hands. Unfortunately, we don't have the King's Grail yet, but that will be something we go and resolve. You see, for some reason, they've left all the windows open. I don't know whether it's to show off that they've got this physics engine on the curtains, or whether it's just to show off that they're trying to air out all the smell of dried blood. This, I believe, is the door that takes us through to the... so this is the merchant for this level, and we've got another shooting gallery, so I'll quickly take care of that, see if we can get some more money out of him, and see if he's got anything else to sell. So, more upgrades for the TMP, semi-auto rifle, and the shotgun, all of which I don't have.
What are you selling?
But we will go and sell some of the treasures we picked up recently, so 5 spinals, 4 velvet blues.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to sell one of these elegant masks, because there's definitely no way I can get all of them maxed out.
I'll buy it at
So that's 10,000, plus the Illuminatus pendant for 12,000, the elegant chessboard for 13,000. So we are now very, very, very loaded up on cash. So I've got a dilemma here, because
what are you buying?
I could go in and upgrade the Broken Butterfly again. That might be a viable strategy, because we've got some boss battles coming up soon, and that might not be a bad idea. However, I could also buy the Attaché Case XL, which is long-term a good idea, because we're kind of running out of storage as it is, and if we start stocking up on, you know, ammo and weapons at some point in the future, it might be nice to have the extra space. So I think I'm going to go for that. And we'll see that as the maximum upgrade to the Attaché Case, that is a really, really big upgrade. We get, like, basically an extra 50% storage capacity, which... as someone who likes to stock up on my grenades and handgun ammo, is a big boost. Plus, it means we could possibly store an extra rocket launcher if we needed to. Still, time for the shooting gallery. So just like before, we've got to shoot our way through a bunch of enemies, try and hit the head, try not to hit Ashley, try and stand at the back so you get the best overview of the shooting gallery. As before, we're going to go with the TMP because it's the best way to shoot rapidly and accurately. We hit everything so far. There we go. So not all headshots, but we got 25 out of 25 hits, so that should mean that we can get a bit of the prize. We'll try game mode B as well, just to make sure we cover all bases. We got an Ashley there who's getting in the way, so try not to shoot her. I think we lose points if we hit Ashley. Game mode B seems a bit tougher as you'd expect, but still not that bad. Uh-oh, managed to hit a reload mid-gallery, that's not good. We still managed to hit everything. Right, so with them down, we've got 3 prizes, which is very nice. 3 extra bottle caps. If we can complete another row, we can get an extra cash reward. So we'll go over to the sniping challenge, which is pretty much the same, just with different kinds of weapons. So I managed to miss the special target there, but hit everything else. So hopefully we can still get a prize for this. Oh, doing absolutely terribly on this round. Yep, managed to completely miss that last bunch. Oh well, give game type B a go. Quickly switch over here, try and hit that target at the back. Yeah, that's 500, so extra points there. Exploit the reload time for maximum capacity. I don't know why this mode even gives you a rifle, because it's just so slow firing that it wouldn't be effective. Make sure not to shoot, actually. Uh-oh, another untimely reload. But we still hit the special target, so that's something. Okay, and they all go down. So that's 25 out of 25 on mode B. So we'll now go back and check out our new bottle caps. So now that we've got the second row collection completed, we get another 25,000 pesetas, which is very nice. That's a weapon upgrade at some point. Check out the bottle cap collection. What have we got on the second row? Ganado A, Don Jose, apparently is his name. Oh boy, have I heard that enough. This guy is Don Diego. This guy is Don Esteban. A foreigner, he shouts. Very problematic there. Don Manuel. There he is, I think that means. That's Spanish for, excuse me sir, could you tell me where the bus station is? And the Bella sisters, who we only met once, I think. And that means I'm looking for the closest bank. But we don't really care about the bottle caps, we just care about getting the lovely rewards for collecting the bottle caps. So, drop a quick save, and on with this most arcadey of levels, after picking up some ammo from a cupboard here. We've got Donald Trump here, who seems to be growing out with his famous hairdo. And if we head down and through this door, we might be on to getting towards the King's Grail. Yep, so this feels combat-y, I'm not going to lie. I feel like there are people here who are not going to be very nice to us. Yep. It's these guys again, and unfortunately there really is no way of taking them out in advance. You can see their axe twitching, just as a little extra warning to us that we're going to have to do some quick time events, but, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And out we get, and down he goes. The situation has not fundamentally changed. And we got another one down here. Easy enough. You didn't really need to backflip there, Leon. You just needed to, you know, step out of the way. But Leon is nothing if not a dramatic gentleman. And yes, through here... Just going to make sure my shotgun's topped up, because this isn't a place where happy things happen. And we'll take the King's Grail. Well, that was easy. Let's just head back to the King's Statue. Oh, no. Yeah, we got knights. And unlike the other knights, these guys do not just die in one hit. They unfortunately do not mean as well at all, in fact. They're quite slow to attack, but obviously we've got Ashley with us and she's vulnerable, so it's still not great. Our primary objective is to stay alive for a moment until we can inflict enough damage that something will happen to these guys. For that, in fact, I am tempted to use the Broken Butterfly, because we've got it, and, you know, this is not a game where holding onto your ammo is necessarily always a good idea. So yes, you'll see that when we shoot them, their heads will burst, and we'll have access to the gooey innards of the knights. If I can take that guy's head off, I'm going to have to deal with these guys fairly swiftly, so it's flash grenade time, I think. And they all then die in one hit, as all enemies with a head bursted do. Unfortunately, I don't think that's quite the end of them yet. Yep, only one ammo left for my Magnum, so just going to have to deploy that against the nearest target. They are at least very easy to dodge around with their telegraphing, but that's not much comfort when there's only a very limited amount of space to occupy. Uh-oh. Ow. Yeah. Oh, they've hit Ashley as well. This is, yeah, not looking good, to be honest. Rifle time. Just need to inflict a large amount of damage very quickly to them. And we got 2 more flash grenades, so that's 1 guy down. That at least gives us a bit of space to focus on the other 2. They are also staggered by the flash grenade blast, even with their helmets on, so there is at least some advantage to that. Now, if I can rifle this guy... Yeah. 2 more headbursters, which obviously puts Ashley in danger, but with our final flash grenade, we can take them both down. If you're trying to do that without flash grenades, you're going to have a not very fun time because they are really, really tough due to the obvious factor of them wearing suits of armor, which obviously are not bulletproof, but they are very bullet resistant. So, with the King's Grail, we've made it through. I'm hoping we don't get attacked by any more knights on the way out, but that is by no means a guarantee. Now, unfortunately, as we round this corner, things aren't going to be quite so quiet as they were before, so time for a quick shotgun reload. And yeah, here they are. Now, this would be a great time for the TMP if I had it, but I don't, so we're just going to have to sort of work our way through these guys gradually. They took a second to respond there. The shield guys are a particular priority for taking out. So I'm out of rifle ammo, over to the shotgun. That guy's shield nearly down. There we go. I don't think at this point it pulls anything really dodgy like sneaking guys up behind you, but they're not easy, and you do get a decent amount of treasure for killing them, but there's quite a few, and if you're not, you know, if you're relatively low on ammo for having taken out the knights, this can be a bit of a dick move as a fight. Cleared them out, got a bunch of treasure, and now let's go put that grail in place. So that lifts the bars on this door, so it's another slightly ornate corridor here. We can run around and clear out all the treasure. Gets a refill on our magnum ammo, which is very nice. I'll show you how punishingly slow the magnum reload is, by the way. It's not a weapon you want to be using day to day. Oh, and another snake there. I'd almost forgotten about them. I didn't know they hid in the jars. Well, it's a good opportunity, if nothing else, to expand our maximum health a little bit. I haven't done that in a couple of levels. And some shotgun shells here, so we are at least well remunerated. Now, we could just head through this door and see what comes next, but we do have another option, which I am minded to take, which is we can climb up here. If we head round this walkway, we'll see, firstly, we've got this chest, which we can open for another butterfly lamp. And then, if we look in here, we can see what's awaiting us. This giant, horrible cocoon. And I think the time has come, ladies and gentlemen, to show off the rocket launcher, because it will make us have a significantly easier time money-wise if we blow this thing up. So, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Now, I don't think that means that we'll have no enemies in this room, but you'll see that it drops loads and loads of the butterfly eyes, which we can use to fill up those lamps, and then any surplus ones we can sell for our own benefit. So just going to quickly make sure I'm armed, because I don't think we're done with the bad things in this room. Yep. So, unfortunately, we've lost Ashley again. Kidnapped by one of the invisible flying guys we dealt with in the sewers. Now, they're a little bit less tough to deal with in this instance because I don't think they're invisible anymore and we have a bit more space to maneuver, but yeah, things are still not great. You'll see we've got loads and loads of eyes which are lying on the floor from having destroyed their hive, but unfortunately it has not wiped them out as a force. So just going to quickly top up my health because why not? And shotguns away. If we back off here, we can get a bit of distance on them. If they're on the ground, they're less dangerous, so that's our priority. But they are still dangerous. I think that's them taken down, so we can run around before these eyes fade from the arena. And yep, there's a blue eye, so we can finish off one of those lamps. Over here, we got a hand grenade, which one of them helpfully dropped. And an extra green eye there. So that's a decent chunk of treasure we get for the cost of a rocket launcher. Now, of course, that does mean that we now don't have a rocket launcher, which is a bit of an issue. But we will run into another merchant at some point, which will let us buy one. So I'm not too concerned for the moment. Our main objective for now is to get out of here. This is something that is fairly intuitive once you know how to do it. But it did take me a few attempts on my first run through this game. And unfortunately, yes, we've lost Ashley again. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on a point of view, because it means we don't have to do the escort quest element of this game for a little while. So that pulls those chains taut. And so we can now... I don't know how you do this if you were out of ammo, by the way, because it is possible to run out during that combat just then. And if the game was clever, it would have some programming in it to say, if player ammo count equals 0, then it will just drop on you pulling the lever, but I don't know whether they were that clever. So we're through into another sort of ante-room area, and yeah, we've got ourselves a merchant here.
Welcome.
So we've got an upgrade for the Red 9, which is going to be quite important. We need to take that up to 3.0 damage, so that's a 1/6 increase, and we're going to upgrade the capacity, which will make life particularly easy in sort of short range engagements. Plus, we've got a fire power upgrade available for the shotgun, which I'm very tempted to take, and a capacity upgrade. I'm just going to do a quick bit of selling so that we have the money to do that. Velvet blue. Got a fully loaded out butterfly lamp there. We've got another one with a red and a green. I don't know whether we encounter more of those guys later in the game. In fact, I'm pretty sure we do, so I'm not going to sell the incomplete one for now, because I think we should be able to finish it off. But I'm going to sell the complete one and use that to invest in some upgrades. And the spare green eyes and red eyes can be sold as well for a bit of extra cash.
Thank you.
So 32,000 pesetas for the fully loaded butterfly lamp. It is a very good investment to get those eyes. Is it worth upgrading the rifle? I mean, we could get it maxed out, which actually wouldn't be a bad thing.
All, stranger?
Yeah, why not? So the rifle does not yet have its exclusive upgrade, but that will be something that comes up later down the line, now that we've got all the normal upgrades for it. At some point, I'm also going to want to buy a replacement rocket launcher, because it is very, very useful to have one on hand, but that's not something I can do right now. So, you can see we've got this tower here, which we're going to want to climb, and it has enemies patrolling outside. This is the scene of quite a tough fight if you're not prepared for it, so the goal is to take out as many of these guys from a distance as possible. There's another one over there as well, yeah.
I wonder if you can see me, Mr. Kennedy.
If you even scratch her, I'll break your bones.
First, we shall see if you can make it this far. I'll be waiting.
Shit.
Yeah, so there she is, and unfortunately it's going to be a little bit more... Unfortunately, it's going to be a little while yet before we're reunited. So if we head over this bridge, while we're only dealing with them one-on-one, I think I can afford to use the rifle, but I think I'm probably going to want to go over to the newly upgraded Red 9, at least show off the extra damage capacity we've got. Hoof him over and then get out the knife. It's just like old times. Helped a little bit there because I took out his friend quite early on. We do need to get into that room, but first I'm just going to smash these barrels to get some extra rifle ammo, which is going to be useful in the fights to come. We've got a very awkward combat section here, if I remember. Yep, so we're in this giant clock tower. We've got this huge mechanism, and there's a block of wood there. Blow that up now, and another one up there, because they are going to be a bit of a hassle later down the line if you don't do that. I think there are 3 or 4. I'm not sure all of them are visible from here. Oh, there's a third one up there. Okay, so that's down. So first things first, we are going to want to head down to the lower levels, where it's concerningly quiet, if I'm honest. I think we're good for now. I think it might have just been the 3. If we head down here, we've got some boxes we can clear out for extra ammo and so on. Handgun, a hand grenade there. If we head all the way around, we get another box here, which contains a flash grenade. That is useful because I used my entire supply on taking out those knights. So now we do what is a bit more intuitive, and we climb up the tower, grab some ammo as we go, which is this game's way of signalling that combat is about to occur. Plus we get a note here. Ritual preparation. Oh dear, this doesn't sound good. Thanks to the efforts of the Novistadors, those are the invisible flying guys, we have been able to recapture Ashley. We shall prepare for the sacred ritual as quickly as possible and make Ashley an official member of the Los Illuminados. Oh dear. While we prepare for the ritual, those of you who feel inclined can attend to our American friend. We should be able to hold off our friend for at least a little while by jamming the gears in the clock tower with something. If we jam the gears in 3 places, it should give us enough time to prepare everything for the ritual. Okay, so I've preempted that with my existing knowledge of the game. Lovely. Plus, they've given us some green herb, which is a nice tribute and makes things a bit fair. So now we turn this mechanism, and because we've destroyed all the obstacles, the mechanism turns immediately. And in this curiously pre-rendered cutscene, which is why it's so very, very low resolution, we see the gate turn. I don't know why that one was pre-rendered and all the other cutscenes were at least re-rendered in HD, if not actually rendered in the in-game engine. I have no idea if they had some kind of problem with that, if there was something the game engine couldn't do and they had to find a way to do it manually. But yeah, in any case, it's a strange one. Unfortunately, we are now not alone. We have bad guys coming to deal with us, and they've got crossbows. They've also got helmets, which makes dealing with them a bit of a waste of ammo compared to normal. They shouldn't be too difficult to take down now that we're heavily armed. Especially if we can dodge their crossbow shots. 3 shots with the new Red 9 seems to be sufficient to take one down. I think there are still more in here, but I think we just need to get to the bottom of the tower and then we can head out through the gate. We're never coming back here, so there's no point in really bothering to stay around and wipe them out. Ah, oh dear. Not going to make life easy for me, though. Especially not throwing dynamite down like that. Although there is friendly fire on dynamite, so it may be that we can use that to our advantage if the things get a bit desperate. Okay, so they're down, and we can get these guys with the sights out of our face. Then we should be about good to go. Ah, so that gate's shut. We can head out through this one, I think. There we go. And now we got to cross this bridge, which unfortunately has shield guys on the approach. We do have a hand grenade. In fact, we've got quite the stock of hand grenades, so now might be a good opportunity for one of those. Yep, so that works well as an opening salvo. Just going to quickly fill in my ammo for the shotgun here. Make sure we haven't missed anything here. There's a save point, but I think we should be alright. Gather up this clutch of ammo and deal with the guys on this side of the bridge. Dear. So they've got a rocket launcher ahead of us, so we're going to need to deal with that guy as a priority. I think time for another grenade, frankly. Ah, managed to completely throw that off the bridge. Excellent. That was a better second throw. Oh, no, not now for a reload. Okay. They're so clustered together here that if you can get any kind of shotgun on them, you can do a decent amount of damage very quickly, which is nice. Unfortunately, that headburster is going to cause problems if I don't take it out quickly. Okay, some accurate pistol shooting takes that guy down. Whole bunch of ammo and a gold bangle here, so that's a decent amount of treasure. Plus collect what's on the bridge. I think we've now taken them all out, which is quite pleasing. Now's a good time to drop a save. Okay, so with that done, we can push through this gate, and unfortunately, we are not out of the woods yet. In fact, we are very much still in the woods, facing down the squirrels, armed with a variety of heavy weapons. Now, you'll see up there, we've got 2 of the blind guys. I don't think the enemies will move until I move, so I do have a bit of an opportunity here to take out their supporting goons with my rifle. Unfortunately, I've now got to move fairly swiftly. Saved by an intervening cutscene there. And now, I think, is an appropriate venue for the broken butterfly, if I'm honest. So, give that bell a shot. Over to the magnum. And a quick shot to his back plaga. Unfortunately, extra goons have come along and it hasn't killed them, so that's not good. No shotgun load and slightly low health. This is not a good combination. Right, over to the handgun. Oh dear. Really not doing well here, frankly. And I need to stop running because that's how the blind guys are going to come and get me. Okay, he's stuck in the wall. Quick hit, quick kick to the head to get rid of them. And quick heal so I can avoid death. I've still got 1 shot left in the broken butterfly. Oh, and a green herb there, which will make me alive slightly longer. Right, he's stuck, so I cannot believe he's not dead yet. I've repeatedly shot him with the magnum, and yet... Oh, dear. Okay, another shot to his plaga there. I'm just going to quickly take out the goons while I've got a bit of space. Oh, dear. I'm not in a good way. Fortunately got a green and a red, so I can heal up to full. Oh god, I need to reload something, or find a new something, or in some way get past these guys, because this is just not viable. If I can get a quick reload in now... Ah, I've used the second bell, so I can't... Right, well the goons seem to be gone at least, so if they turn around, I can at least get the rifle out and deal some damage with that. So, aim for the plaga, and... Completely missed, excellent. Okay, that's 1 down, but not managed to escape the second. Looks like we've got a full health spray down there, which is very, very valuable, and I do want that. So now that it's just the 1 guy I'm leading around, we've got a bit more of an opportunity. Especially if I can just rifle his back plugger like that. Well, that was a bit of a slog. I've used up most of my valuable ammo, and we didn't get much for it in terms of treasure or, you know, progress, but with them down, we do at least get a big pile of treasure from their corpses and a bit of a replacement for my used up shotgun ammo. So we'll head through this door and see what awaits us next. And if we head through this door at the end, it's time for another cutscene.
Ashley.
Mr. Kennedy, don't you know when it's time to throw in the towel?
Ah, the Old Bottomless Pit. It was good of Leon to stand in exactly the right place there.
Where's the satisfying sound of one's impalement?
Don't fall for this old trick.
How dare you! No more games! Kill him! Kill!
Yes, so this
We shall prepare for the ritual!
tall-robed gentleman is going to be a bit of a thorn in our side for the next bit of the game.
You're alive.
I mean, I am for now, no thanks to you, Ashley.
So maybe you have 9 lives, but it doesn't matter now, Mr. Kennedy. I've sent my right hand to dispose of you.
Your right hand comes off?
Hey, said the line.
Whatever you please. Die, you worm!
Oh, I'm sure we're getting around to that several times before this game's out. Still, we get ourselves a crown, which is nice. We also, somehow, Mr. Merchant has found his way down here. And so we're dropping a save and going through some quick trading with him. You'll also see that we've got this lovely array of spikes here with several unfortunates on it. I don't know what that monk did to displease Mr. Salazar, but clearly it was serious. So with this, we'll see some new additions to the merchant store, specifically one addition, which is the Striker. Now this is an interesting gun, because it's basically the third shotgun in the game, and it fires faster, has bigger capacity, does a bit more damage than the riot gun, so I think it's time. The riot gun has served us well, but I think it's time that it said goodbye and gave over to the Striker. You'll see it also takes up much less space in the attaché case, which is a nice addition. So let's go tune that up and see how good we can make it. So capacity of 14, firepower of 7. It makes it about as good as the riot gun, which we'd upgraded a large amount of the way already. Also got a few treasures to trade in here, so gold bangle particularly can go for 8,500. The crown is only 9,000 at the moment, but if we can get the 2 treasures that go inside it, we can sell that for, I think, 48,000, which I think makes it the most valuable treasure in the game. So that's worth saving for. Now I'm tempted, I think I will, buy another rocket launcher, because expensive though they are basically invaluable in certain boss fights, including one that is really rather close. So we're going to quickly reload the Magnum as well, just while we've got ammo for it, we might as well, and I think head over to our new shotgun. So you'll see it's rather more squat and sort of, in fact, looks a bit more riot controlly than the actual riot gun did, but means we can fire semi-automatically and it's nice and fast firing. So should do a good job for us in disposing of those monks. Now, yeah, we are down in this corridor where we can find a rather incongruously placed velvet blue, and this is one of my least favourite bits of the game, frankly. Yeah, we're getting spied on, and it's not by the Novistadors this time. So now we're in an even creepier corridor, and the arrow is imploring us to go this way, so we might as well. And yeah, unfortunately, this is not going to be an easy time for Leon. We got ourselves a lift here, which we're going to want to use. So we can bring the elevator up, but the power's out, so we've got to switch that on for one thing. That's not something we can do right here. We have to do that elsewhere in the level. And as we go, yep, we'll be getting various quick time events, because we are not alone in here. And Salazar's right hand, which he mentioned earlier, is going to be a constant companion for the next couple of minutes. So avoiding the arrows, we're going to go ahead all the way to the end of this corridor, hitting the quick time events as we go. And when we do finally get there, in this corner, we've got the power unit. We can turn that on. Circuit breakers the circuit breaker's been flipped. Unfortunately, that door has closed and the lift has started coming up, but we've got 4 minutes to kill until that happens. Now, we can open the shutter, but that summons the right hand, free of his cloak. He is one of the toughest enemies we could possibly face at this stage, and we don't want to get in the way of him. He is supposed to be invulnerable. That's not quite true, as we will see, but it is worth doing a full heal and a health expansion at this point because he is seriously tough, and we don't want to die at this point. What we can do is knock over these canisters of nitrogen, and that will freeze him, making him vulnerable to attack. Now, I'm not going to muck about here. Now he's frozen. He's getting the rocket launcher. That injures us, but it kills him, and means we don't have to dodge around him for several minutes. If you don't have a rocket launcher, you're going to have to either dodge around him or freeze him and blast him with the Magnum, which is another efficient way of getting rid of him, but is more dangerous and does require several shots. So I didn't want to risk it because this section of the game is frustrating, and if it's 30,000 pesetas to take him down, then that's a price I'm willing to pay. Plus, for the sake of convenience of you guys watching, if you kill him, it automatically skips the rest of the timer on both this door and on the lift, and there's no further enemies in here. So you can just wander around and gather the treasures that are lying around. You can still activate the nitrogen canisters, which I think is a nice touch. They don't do anything, they just make a little icy effect on the ground for a few seconds, but, you know, good attention to detail that if you really wanted to, you can still do that. And TMP ammo in here. I cannot imagine why TMP ammo would possibly be useful in that boss fight, because I think he has a, I think his armor, his inbuilt armor negates 90% of damage from all incoming hits. I think that's how that works, which means that TMP is virtually useless because its damage per hit is so very low. But you can, if you have some of the New Game Plus super weapons, just chew away at him without freezing him, and you can overcome that threshold.
It seems that Salazar is having difficulty taming the American pig. Salazar had his chance. Krauser, go get a girl. Oh, and dispose of the swine while you're at it.
Consider it done.
Yep, so we got a familiar returning character from one of the earlier Resident Evil games, and with that, after a very, very long Chapter 4.1, we are down in the hollowed out mines below the castle, and it's time for us to proceed through Chapter 4.2, and this is not going to be a fun one either. Chapter 4 is, I think, possibly my least favourite part of the game. It's a constant slog of combat in a really unrealistic environment against enemies that are really quite tanky and annoying, but needs must, so with our total kill count finally rising over 500 in exchange for only 9 deaths, which is a pretty good kill-death ratio in my view, we'll drop a save here and continue next time. So a bit of housekeeping before we go. If we combine the crown jewel, which we got from the dead right hand, with the crown, we'll see we get the crown with jewels, which is not quite done yet. There's another treasure to add to it, but that immediately raises the value quite a lot. So we'll drop a save here, and yeah, that was quite a chapter, wasn't it? We killed Salazar's right hand, we killed a couple of the blind guys, we rescued Ashley and then lost Ashley again. We fought off a load of the Novistadors. We blew up the Novistador nest and got a load of treasure out of that. And next time, we're going to be proceeding through the mines where they discovered the Plaga, which brought it up to the village, which kicked off this whole game. We also got a shooting gallery there, so that'll be fun for next time. And so say goodbye, Mr. Merchant. Goodbye, stranger. And I will see you next time. Thanks very much, and goodbye.